Okay, sir. Should we begin?
Oh, yeah, we can start.
Okay. So guys, welcome to the poetry competition. So as you have been already informed, your poetry should be minimum of 3 minutes. You should have minimum 3 stanzas in your poetry. Also, the third thing that you should remember is please switch on to your video call wherever your turn comes, and also be loud and clear so that people can hear you properly. So I'll be calling out the participant names, and as per I call out, please switch to a video call. First one is Vedika. So yeah. Vedika, you can switch on your video call and begin. Vedika, sorry, we cannot hear you. You're muted right
Please
now.
unmute your audio.
Self? Uh, Vedika, you're still muted.
I'm calling Vedika.
Unmute yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
She's
Hi, it was my fault.
Yeah.
Okay, so good evening to everyone. It's Vedika. So today my poem's topic is sundown. As the name suggests, it's just something. It's like there is whenever there is a sunset, there is always a sunrise. Just like this, if we have obstacles, the good time will come for sure. Like my poem is basically centralized about the is basically centralized that most of the people take life as an obstacle, but they don't know how to adore them. So I just want all of you to understand, understand my point of view, and even if I'm wrong, I'm happy to just put my poem in this platform. So I would like to start. Looking at the moons and stars, evoking the corsage of scars, little do we know how to sway, little do we know if we'll win the play. Shakespeare said, life is a stage where we cannot decide our next page. We play our roles and depart, leaving all our memories and past. Life is like a boat. You'll only survive if you float. Having despair for what we don't have, it's normal tendency of us perhaps. Do we think it's easy to abide in the room full of spikes? We are just performers in this stage where we cannot decide our next page. Physical ailment can have a demise, but what about the crevices in our thought that never dies? Though life is full of obstacles, but seldom it amazes us with miracles. Obstacles are meant to form you, they are meant to reform you. Giving up makes it hard, it just makes our journey retard. So, life still adores, it sometimes never knocks the doors. Thank you.
Okay, Vedika, it was a really good poem. So next up we have Dhruv Panikar. Is he there online? Is Dhruv there?
he texted me he'll be there in 5 minutes. You can move to second one.
Okay, so now we'll be having Gargi for the next poetry recitation. She's there. She's online. Yeah. She's unmuted herself.
Could
Yes,
you
sir.
tell them to introduce Prarthana?
Sorry?
Could
Tell
you
them to introduce.
the school that,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Please.
Can you see me?
No.
Just a minute. There's a issue with my settings. I'll just 1 minute.
Yeah, so this is welcome to the poetry competition of virtual Parvaaz, and it is done by the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And over here, we'll be listening to the poetry recitations of the participants and then evaluating it later. So yeah, we'll be listening to Gargi now.
Hello, Gargi.
Should I start?
Yeah.
Good evening. I'm Gargi Agnihotri. I'm in grade 12, and here's my poem. It is gloom, which means darkness. We all have been wounded in life, lost ourselves in those words, moving ahead where sorrows and cries are never left unheard. Flickering like lights, mostly vivid, occasionally frail, watching how glaze is always after shade. Seem from darkness to emerge, creating a sense of void, to somewhere you can't submerge. When you see a gloomy cloud of rain, never let your heart complain. Just think again and say, what all have you obtained? Seeing everything gloomed when you hope for better. Just stay tuned because good days are yet to glitter. Dark clouds will pass away. Just wait for the sun. The brightest and warmest days are yet to come. Thank you.
Okay, Gagi, thank you so much. Now, next up we have is Gorisha Bhatia. Can you please unmute and turn on the video call so that we can see you?
Hello.
Yeah, Gorisha, we can show you as well.
One thing I want to tell you that I'm writing the poem for the first time, not first time, but in this competition, I'm first time participating. So please don't judge me.
Nobody will hear you, so we can just feel free and do not get nervous and just recite the poem.
Okay. So my topic is bully in this poem, and I will begin. It tore me up, breaked me down, shredded me down. It ripped me when I experienced it. It hurts when I even think of it. There used to be the fear in those eyes, still searching for the respect and making my eyes cry. Now it's all past because the life is too fast. It all recovered all my scars, all my fears, because I had a better people to my now the moment that I experienced in the past now, the moment how I experienced in the past made me stronger and gained the strength to surpass. The moments remind me that I am much stronger, valuable, and not the old one. The ugliest thing happened to me beautifully, and that is bully. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, it was a good one. So now we switch to our next participant, which is Dhruv. Is Dhruv online now, Sarvesh? Is he there?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
Hello, how are you all?
Yeah, we are doing good.
Okay, so I'll start right now. He gazed into this abysmal darkness. Wait a minute, let me continue. Do it again. He gazed into this abysmal darkness. He gazed into this ill-favored monstrosity. He gazed into this malodorous serenity. He gazed into its jaws of death. Here he stands, still as a stone, various wearing, gnawed at a bone, a mother's remain reduced to calcium, which was set ablaze by his hands at a crematorium. At this point, he was able to see which only warriors who were brought down to their knee were able to grasp death's truest meaning, which in folks' eye were the most ugliest thing in existence. He thought, oh no. There he stood still in the valley of Death's Hill, contemplating the meaning of death. He thought, countless souls rest here, some of them from ages long ago. Some were rich, others poor, some wise, others dull, but they are all just dead now, dead and one with nature. Even in death, our life is a celebration, for our body becomes the life source for others to thrive on. Even in death, we still survive in the form of food or in the form of oil. Even in death, we never die. So why do people find it ugly? He never knew and he will never know. For all he knows is one day he will die, and even in death he will survive. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for reciting this poem. Now, next up we have Arya Nair.
Am I visible?
Yes, Arya, you are.
Okay, so the title of Aryan Nair and the title of my poem is Envy. I envy them for what they have. Isn't this something we have all said once in our life? People disregard this feeling. The envier is always that pessimist. For what I know, they could also be the optimist. The drive this envy gives us could achieve unimaginable, of course, when driven in the right direction. We can outdo people who we envy better than those who we are envious of in our lives. And we could embark you on a journey which you would abstain from otherwise. Each day it reminds you to give your best, the best that we thought didn't exist. Come to think of it now, is envy all negative or is it just a perspective that labels it negative? Isn't envy just like how we perceive it? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arya. Now, the next participant is Devansh Brahmbhatt. Is Devansh there?
No, no, he's not. He's not there.
Okay, okay. Okay, so now we'll be having Riddhi Thakkar to recite the poem.
That labels it negative.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're completely audible.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Riddhi Thakkar, and I'm just completing my 12th. And my poetry is on the way artists are always ridiculed for this way of theirs, where they make pain poetic. Like many people find it an ugly business. They find that we make their pain, we monetize their pain, and we monetize their scars. So I begin on it. Artists like us are mocked and defamed as a friend. Our hands are etched with curses of being heartless. We see a heart, black with depression, and we dip our quills in first before squeezing the black out. The sight of need and poverty makes our hand rush to help after filling our SD cards with the perfect angles. We pluck out a piece from each broken heart we encounter and strike out codes with them. Our first reaction to pain isn't sympathy, but inspiration. We suffer from Stockholm Syndrome and humanity at once. So the next time you befriend an artist or find out your friend is one, be aware. For your pain might get turned to art instead of just hair loss. Thank you.
Thank you, Riddhi. Your poetry was lovely. So now we switch to our last participant, and that's Tarang Ghetia.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Yeah. So good evening, everyone. My name is Tarang, and the title of my poem is Litter. Everywhere you see, as far as you see, you and I, we both notice them every day. But still, none of us pays attention. They just go away with salary. Sometimes I wonder they are miracle. They do a job nobody wants to do. They pick up your litter and yet keep smiling. They deal with all those who cry when they ask for a pay raise. Do you see beauty in it? No. They do a godly job. They save things we possibly can't and we still pretend to. They are the ones who make our mess. Yet, when we look upon them, all we figure out is garbage. The tarnished clothes, dirty shirts, everything. They sweep poops of almost every animal. Yet, it's a human eye which doesn't realize its beauty. That's where nature smiles. That's where beauty is. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tarang, for reciting the poetry. So now here we come to the end of this poetry competition, reciting competition. So here Now we'll request the HOD of our department, Dr. Robbie Augustine, to have 2 words for the participants, whatever he feels like, and then we can end the competition. Robbie, sir? Hello, Robbie, sir. Can you just say anything to the participants to motivate them? And
no, Prarthana, you conclude it. No problem. Students.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
coordinators, Prarthana, and
sorry?
who else are the coordinators? They can coordinate.
Yeah. So, Parth, please can you switch on to your video call so we can just conclude this competition? Yeah. Okay, so Parth, you have something to say to the participants?
The participants wrote well. I liked few poetries quite a bit, and what I wanted to say is voting goes live 9 p.m. and ends tomorrow at 3:30. You will get your results tomorrow. Yes, that's all.
Okay, so thank you everybody for participating in this competition. And as Parth said, you will be getting tomorrow the results at the award ceremony. So please be there, tuned in, and join the award ceremony tomorrow.